Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I offer you episode 25 of Let the Women Tell It series. And there's two women, two clips from two women. The first one is a woman who I admire some of her takes. I don't agree with everything she says, but she actually has some good takes on certain things. So we're going to play a couple of clips from her. And then the second clip is from a lady that is a great teacher. And she tries to tell women, not tries, she actually tries to teach, not tries, she actually teaches women what it is to have a value system that's worth following and passing down to your sons and daughters. And they call her the Crimson Cure. And I'm going to use a few clips from her latest. And for both of them, I'm going to put the links in the description so you can go see their full videos. So this is under fair use. And but first, I'd like you to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and provide comments because I think this is very important for 2024. And like I said, I'm going to keep having these episodes come because women are starting to speak out. And you see, this is my 25th one. So each one of these episodes talk about women talking to other women about correcting bad behavior or a way to look at life differently than what the hyenas are doing. So I like this one. And without further ado, I'm going to let you hear the first person that I have up. And that first person is actually Candice Owens. And she has a message.
To this article. It is old. It was published in 2016. The author's name is Amy Otto. And she wrote, "Men did greater things when it was harder to see boobs." Totally agree with that statement. Don't even have to think hard about it. She writes, "Giving sex for free destroyed men's motivation. Men used to marry younger and in larger numbers to lock down their very own real life woman. But now, in a bizarre gambit to gain equality, women gave away a ton of the power that they had accumulated in society. They held the majority of the cards in sexual relationships and, facing a royal flush, decided to fold. Women used to set the cultural standards and the parameters for intimate activity. Now, often the guys wield more power over sex, and the girls are working way too hard, way too soon, with no reciprocity. More widely available hookups have made men less likely to commit." Let's explore that because, as I said, it is true. This is the long result of the women's movement, the feminist movement, the second wave that took place in the 1970s, where suddenly you had a bunch of cultural leaders like Gloria Steinem, writers like Helene Crixus, who were suddenly
See, I mentioned this before in one of my uh, videos called "The Promiscuity of Women Have Shaped the Sexual Marketplace." And I talked about the things that Candace mentioned here. Now, this is a woman co-signing what I think to believe to be true, that the more virtuous women are, the more correct men come to actually try to claim those women for themselves, because that's the nature of men. We want sex, but if we don't get it, we're willing to do what it takes to get to the woman that we really desire. And after we do that and we get to know them, a lot of men would marry women so they can have that woman to themselves with the commitment of taking care of that woman for the rest of his life. That's going when you get all the milk for free, and you don't have to work for it. But let's listen to some more Candace Owens.
telling women that domesticity was wrong, that they needed to pursue their sexual freedom. Now the results of it are abundant. Every time I open the internet, I am actually shocked. I'm going to take you through a few things that I saw while I was on maternity leave. And I just went, what is happening? What is this woman doing? This is not a woman that is free. She is a pervert. If a man did this, he'd probably be put into prison. But because she's a woman, people are pretending that this is okay. Take this one example. This is a social media influencer. Her name is Natalie Reynolds. And she decided one day, she woke up and said, I am just going to paint my body like leggings and wear them to the gym. I'm serious. She was butt naked and decided to paint blue onto herself and go to the gym to see how men would react. And it turns out that men did not think it was cute or it was funny. Take a listen.
If you don't have clothes on, you need to be out of here, man.
I do have clothes on.
That's fine.
Go closer.
How's your body?
That's fine. I work in the industry enough to know. I work in the entertainment field.
He's saying you need to leave. He's not.
No, not report you for you can see.
Report me.
Cool. I mean, she's covered. So
Yeah, she's covered.
she's covered. So we're not supposed to video this.
Now, why would Natalie do that? Why would any individual, I actually want you to flip your brain, if a man said, I'm going to go to a gym where there's a bunch of women and I'm just going to paint my nether regions blue. And then I'm going to get closer to a person and get close and say, oh, no. Oh, what's the problem here? You would call the police. Because she's a woman, somehow she thought this would be funny. I don't know. She offered this apology on Twitter, really kind of a non-apology on Twitter. She wrote, I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I am simply here to apologize.
All right. So, yeah, so you see that, right? Let me just let this play out. We'll cut this out later.
Now, to be clear, Twitter states that this is a rip off of an old Logan Paul apology. So she is not actually apologizing. She still thinks that there's something here to be garnered, some sort of attention for her perverse activity. What should have happened is that she should have been arrested for indecent exposure.
All right. So listen, so now we had that. So I'm going to have another clip from Candace. And then we're going to move on to the next one. But you see where she's coming from, right? This is what women have to do to correct other women. And there's not enough Black women in particular who are willing to step into the breach, right? And I don't care if the perpetrator was white. We just need women to step up and say, this behavior is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's just really unacceptable. So we're going to move up a little bit. And we're going to listen to the next person she's going to talk about.
Blue, and I'm getting close to you. What an absolute creep this woman is. She shouldn't even be around children, yet alone men. And then I saw this picture, and I've covered this woman extensively on my show. She's one of the great purveyors of modern feminism. Yes, Emily Ratajkowski. I don't know what she has done in society other than be naked, what her contribution has been, other than at the very same time on insisting on her nudity, writing a book and convincing us that men are looking at her, making her a sexual object. Yeah, she actually wrote a book and said that she has been objectified her entire life sexually. Poor Emily Ratajkowski. So anyways, I don't know where she was going the other evening, but I do want to show you this photo of her, a night on the town in New York City. It looks like her assistant is descending out of a black car with her, and this is what Emily Ratajkowski decided to wear. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't see it, it is literally a black bra and underwear and a sheer top on top of it, completely sheer. She's completely naked. She's also wearing even a transparent heel. So I will ask the question in case you think I'm being unfair. Where is she going? Where is she going that you would say that this is an appropriate outfit to wear? I want you to actually get creative here. I played this game. I said to my producers, in what setting would you say, no, actually, this outfit is appropriate? I'm walking down the street wearing a bra and underwear, and this is totally fine because I'm headed to my sister's birthday dinner.
You get the point, right? You really get the point here. What is she actually doing? Again, so without further ado, what I'm going to do is just kind of keep it moving and go to the next video, okay? I'm going to go to the next video of the Crimson Cure, and she has something to say about lionesses. We make sure that I have it started at the right spot, just so we don't make a mistake. All right.
Beginning of the end. At least I'm hoping so. Because see, it's not just the lions and the lionesses. We've been sick of it. But I think the boneyard is tired of the boneyard. And the stuff that pops into or pops out of the boneyard. I'm going to give you a little example. Like, okay. Okay.
Fair use.
So
Fair use.
recently, Meg, this was a week ago or so, Meg Stalia, excuse me, you know, she gets on camera looking like Sideshow Bob and starts twerking, right? You know, she gets on here, she starts twerking, blah, 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 blah. I can't show it like that. But she gets up there and does all of that. But what I want to focus on is not the twerking itself. You know what? Let me go back to the still. I don't necessarily want to focus on the twerking itself. What I do want to focus on is the comments. The comments. Somebody said she put a black man in prison for 10 years. A woman said all this for free is nasty work, especially after you got a man locked up. But for real, y'all confusing these babies. Just be real and say you are 304 looking for a trick. At least these teenagers will know what it is, because just prior to the release of this video, she was running around on social media talking about how she was going to change, how she was going to, you know, she did a Brittany Renner, how she wasn't, you know, going to be promoting this thoughterism and all of this type of thing. Then you got a man that said, I actually enjoy her music. I literally see no benefit to her twerking anymore. I miss the Lauryn Hill Queen Latifah era. Said a woman said, anyways, free Tory Lanez. Somebody said this the only way she could be relevant doing this. A woman said, can we find something else to do? Then this seemed to be another woman said, when will modesty and self-respect ever be popular again?
See, that's the point again. Here's another woman talking about modesty, self respect. And my word that I use is virtuous. Where are the women who want virtue to return? So she's going through these comments, and just to illustrate a point that in the past, all you would see is just comment after comment. You go, girl. This is that. This is that. And now in 2024, people are starting to say, wait a minute. You know, around the world, Black women especially are being portrayed in the most ratchet ways. And Black men have been telling them this forever, for a long time. And now it's time for them to hear it from Black women and other women, because now that they attack passport bros, and I hate to say passport, but brothers who go overseas to find more traditional women, the Black women here have been attacking those women over there. And those women are actually striking back as well, because they hate being portrayed the way they're being talked about. You know, so, you know, in 2024, a change is coming. And it's just a little groundswell. But I want to go ahead some further up a little bit and come back to Crimson Cure.
Another one to show, just to sort of
Fair use. She's going to show another example.
Suki makes another tweet. So I'm tired of getting, in and feeling pregnant the next day. What's the best birth control? And somebody say, y'all got to leave this 304 stuff in 2023. Excellence and elegance, all 2024. So getting real tired of these types of girls getting headlines. A female said, this is the stuff we got to leave in 2023. Another woman said, please, ladies, leave this tacky behavior in the past. This mannerism is gross and unladylike. Bring back reserved women. This is disgusting. Just want some attention because you could have asked Google, not IG. I hate this for her, and I hate this for Black women.
Again, you get the point. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this link so you can listen to all the stuff from the Crimson Cure because she has a lot of gems in here. I got one more for you. And then we're going to wrap it up.
The point that I wanted, to make is that this is probably the year of the lioness. And I want the lionesses to be happy about that. I want the lionesses to, you don't have to come out into the world of content creation if you're not already in it in order to make your presence known as a lioness. Do that in your own circle. Do that in your own life. Do it in your own interactions with people on a personal level, because that's how we're really going to see the different changes. Don't be trying to save other women that do not want to be saved. And here's how you know how to do that. Because sometimes women fool us as well. Women are chameleons with other women too, not just for men. So for the lionesses, don't get fooled by other chameleons. Everybody moves in life at their own pace. But I think one good rule of thumb to sort of follow, if you are a lioness and you meet a woman, or maybe that woman is even in your family, and she has hyena behavior, but you can kind of see the good in her or the redeeming quality of her. If their opportunity exists, and this is different for
Stop right there. We got a little hiccup. So I'm going to stop it right there because you get the point. She's saying save who you can save. Save the ones who want to be saved. Right? That's really where it's all at. All right. So let's stop sharing there. Let's go back. And so I can give you my final thoughts and we can get you up out of here. All right. So listen, you got to let the women tell other women, for kids, it's going to be more effective than men just telling women what we've been saying for years and years. Now that we have men getting on these panels in YouTube, having shows, talking about what we desire in our women and our young girls, and how we would want to help move our sisters into the further into the new year, doing the right things and behaving the right way, not only for us, but for themselves. Because there's no shortage of men that I know who are looking for women, but they want to see the virtue. They want to see the value of what it would take to have a wife, and not a woman who wants you to compromise to her behavior, because that's not how, and I want to say this, that's not how God intended it. God, man, women, and children. Now, even if you're in the secular world, You can't be upside down like feminists, because women ain't supposed to run a household if there's a man in it. And if you have a man that's not running the household, is he a kept man because he satisfies you when you need him to, and then you're paying his bills later on? That's not no kind of relationship, and that's not healthy at all. And you know it, and I know it. Every woman who wants a man generally wants a man who can stand on his own square and run things. So I'm not going to keep going. I let the women tell it. I think this is a good little lesson for 2024. You know, it could actually be the year of the lioness. And I let the women tell it. Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.